And welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For today's preview, as the All Blacks host Ireland in the third and all-important decider in what has probably been the most entertaining incoming sort of series during the last month. And Ireland looking very much to win in New Zealand. And what a massive victory it would be to be one of the first teams ever to go and win a tour in New Zealand. And I think they very much fancy it because, I mean, if you look at the interview from Johnny Sexton last week when they had won, it was more or less, like the job's not done yet type thing. There were celebrations, but they weren't celebrations as if they had won the series or that was all they wanted to do. It was the first step towards completing what many would brand the impossible, in terms of going and beating New Zealand in a 3-match series in New Zealand. But I think that Ireland have currently got the momentum. They outplayed New Zealand last week. New Zealand discipline was really killing them. And I think that this weekend, New Zealand are going to have to work on a lot of different things if they are to go and beat Ireland. And the biggest thing is for Ireland's point of view is that they have started so well. If you look at the start they had in the first test as well as the start they had in the second test, they are starting very quickly and putting a lot of early pressure on the All Blacks. The difference was in the first test, the All Blacks kind of absorbed this pressure and then got into their stride. In the second test, they just never managed to really get into their stride because of so many cards, so many different penalties, so many different disciplinary issues. But the All Blacks have named an incredibly strong side, and it's far more to sort of the side that you kind of expect to see from this New Zealand team at the moment. Ireland very much going with consistency, an injury-enforced placement, which we'll talk about in a bit. But before we do talk about the two teams, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. We will be live for this game on a Saturday morning down here in South Africa at 9 o'clock South African Standard Time. Should be an absolute cracker. In terms of the two teams that we will see take to the park, this is how New Zealand are going to line up, and a lot of big names have been brought back into the side. And I think that it's a New Zealand side which has everything on paper to do the job. And the biggest thing I think that they need to sort of fix again is a lot of disciplinary issues and stuff like that. And in many ways, after last week, it's a lot about nullifying certain Irish players like the likes of Peter O'Mahony, who I thought was absolutely terrific. But if we look at the side in the front row, it is George Bauer, Cody Taylor, and Nepo Laulala. And in the second row, it's gets quite interesting. Sam Whitelock back into the side, starts at 5 next to Brodie Retallick, but Scott Barrett has also been retained in the side and will start at number 6. So it's a very large physical pack that New Zealand are putting out there. Sam Cane will continue to captain the side, and Artie Severe will be looking to play a full 80 or at least a full 60, for example, after a bit of an administration error last week. Although some people are saying a little bit of an officiating error as well meant that he actually only played about 25 minutes last week because of he had to be left off the park due to the red card with the whole tight-head sort of situation with having to have a recognised prop in the park. So I think that was a big blow to New Zealand last week, was losing Artie Severe for such a large portion of the game. If we look at the back line, it is Aaron Smith next to Beauden Barrett, Sevi Reece on number 11, but Will Jordan comes into the side, starts at 14, Geordie Barrett at the back, David Havili at inside centre, Ricky Ioane will make his 50th appearance for the All Blacks in the number 13 jersey. It's a very strong backline. Will Jordan will breakthrough player of the year. Back in the side is a very big move. And if you look on the bench as well, Dane Cole's back, brings a lot of experience. Aiden Ross, Ofa Tuangfase, and then Akira Ioane, Dalton Mapili, and Falau Fakatawa, and Richie Mwanga, and Roger Tuivasa Sheikh, who is on debut for the All Blacks. It's a very strong All Black side. They're very much, going to their big guns. Will Jordan, Sevi Reece, and Geordie Barrett are a back three which would strike the fear to any international team out there at the moment. And I think it's a pack that has been selected to bring a lot of physicality, try and put New Zealand on the front foot, and then let the likes of the back line and even an Artie Severe run amok within the Irish team. If you look at the Irish, they've gone very much with consistency. So it's the same front row that did the job last week. Dan Sheehan is in between Andrew Porter and Tyke Furlong. Andrew Porter was absolutely immense last weekend. Scored a brace, looked really, really good, was very physical in the way he carried the ball, was very good at scrum time, and I think that him and Furlong, again, if they can have sort of games like they had last week, it'll go a long way towards the cause. In the second row, I thought Tyke Byrne was absolutely tremendous last weekend. The running lines he was running, the physicality he brought, absolutely world class. He's next to James Ryan, and then Peter O'Mahony, who's playing probably some of his best rugby he's ever played. in the number 6 jersey. Josh van der Fleer and Kalen Doris are at the same loose trio as last weekend. Jamison Gibson Park will give them a lot of good feed and a lot of front football. And Johnny Sexton is just pulling the strings at the moment. For somebody who is quite old and nearing the end of his career, he just doesn't look like he's slowing down, does he? When he plays like he does at the moment, he just controls a test match. And he's got so much class and ability to be able to just navigate a match. And it's small things, When they've got front football, he sees space like very few fly halves out there does. But even on the defense, he's a very intelligent player and he knows how to get his team out of trouble. There's a lot of experience in that number 10 jersey. James Lowe, Mac Hansen, Hugo Keane are the same back three. However, Bundy Aki comes in for the injured Gary Ringrose, which sees Robbie Henshaw shift to outside centre. Ringrose leaving the field last weekend with injuries, so very big pity to see him and not be able to play this weekend. Off the bench, Rob Harrington, Healy, Finley, Beelum. It's a very tidy and handy reserve front row. Kieran Treadwell, Jack Conan are the two other forward reserves, and then you've got Connor Murray, Joey Carberry, and Keith Earls. I think Connor Murray with Jamison Gibson Park, two very different players, but I think the perfect combination of somebody who will really get this Irish team firing and add a lot of pace and impetus to the game before you're bringing on sort of your game management scrum off. And Connor Murray is very good with tactical kicking, reads the game. He can slow the ball down a lot if he needs to, and just so much experience to be able to seal the game. And hopefully, if they're on the lead, which has kind of been the sort of the case, Ireland very much going out in front quite early, and it's about whether they can stay in front. Let me know what you think is going to happen down the game. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.